So as you can see, I started off with a woodworker's favorite fixer-upper. It's called wood filler. Now I bought these birch panels, these plywood panels, and they had defects in them. So I had to use wood filler to repair the defects. And then as you can see, I started sanding. Now what you got to remember is that there's 12 sheets that I used for this project, so I had to do this 12 times. And now you can see I'm rolling on some black paint, and I'm rolling it on because it gave it a really good coat and it sealed the pores pretty good. After that dried, I sanded the piece with 220 grit sandpaper just to scuff up the surface, because I'm preparing it for the next process, which is spraying it with enamel black. And then once that dried, the next process after that was I cut grooves in the back of the panels. Now I did that because when I cut the profiles out, there's going to be about 130 pieces altogether, and I didn't want to do it individually, so I did it like that with the sheets intact. Next, you see here I'm applying a vinyl sheet, and that's to reduce the splinters, and also if I wanted to paint the lettering, I could. And it also serves to protect it as well. So now I'm just screwing the actual sheet in place and preparing it for the CNC machine to actually carve the lettering and carve the profile out. So I just made sure that those screws weren't gonna actually hit the CNC machine, weren't gonna hit the screws, so they're placed properly. Now this actually cut out 20 pieces, so I had to do this to 7 pieces altogether, which gave me 140. So what you see here now is I'm cutting their certificate holders, and I'm using a piece of masonite 3/16 already painted white. And now the next is I'm cutting the 2-inch strips for the belt, and they have the grooves also in the back. So once I was done with that, the next process was cutting the sticks that actually hold everything in place, and I had to cut 260 of these pieces. They fit right in the groove, so everything lined up properly. Now I'm cutting the spacers, and I'm using a box to catch all the pieces, and I'm also using a trick here to cut multiple pieces. It keeps it away from the fence so the pieces don't bind up against the fence, and then you can cut multiple pieces just like that. Now this is all the pieces to one setup. So I'm gonna start by putting glue on the back of the profile, stapling the sticks, putting glue on the 2-inch strip, stapling it to the sticks. Then I'm gonna put the spacers, glue that in, and then staple that. And then the last is gluing in the certificate holder and then stapling that. Then I'm going to use elastic pieces that are going to be used to hold the belts. I staple that in, and then I just place some photo corners. And then this is the final product. 1 down, 129 to go.